Okay, so we're gonna get into our next segment, the weekly preview. Pretty big NFC matchup that we have, the NFC East matchup between the Giants versus the Cowboys. Giants are traveling to the Cowboys. This is their second game versus them. We'll see what happens. I mean, what's your thoughts on this game so far?
Yeah, I think this will be a pretty close matchup. The last time they played, it was a close game. Both teams were able to kind of stay in the mix. It was kind of one of those hard fought, drag it out kind of games where you know they lean on the run game. They're able to throw the ball a little bit, but the defenses were showing up. Not a super high scoring game. I see something similar to that happening this time. We know Dak is back in place of Cooper Rush as opposed to last time, but I see the game kind of playing out a similar way. The Cowboys are favored by 9. I actually think it might have crept up to even up to 10 at this point. But yeah, look, it's going to be a fun game. It's on Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be a close game. I'd probably take the points on this one. I think it's going to be close regardless of who wins.
Right.
And and yeah, and then we have the Odell factor with him being rumored to uh you know making a decision including these teams, maybe some more teams in the mix. I would think the Bills, Chiefs, Bucks, some other teams, etc. Packers maybe. But yeah, look, it should be fun. You get to watch this on Thanksgiving with a few other games as well. But getting one of those Thanksgiving prime time spots, you know, seems like a great matchup and um, one that we'll see what kind of Dallas team turns up. I mean, I think for the most part the Giants are what they are. You expect them to a little bit of a mix of defense,
Running the ball.
running the ball with Saquon, finding some holes here and there to make some pass plays. What are we going to get from Dallas? Are they going to, their defense should show up? Are they going to play, spectacular like they did against the Vikings? Or maybe they're going to come back a little bit more to earth. Same thing with the offense. I don't see them putting up 40 points again.
Yeah.
That
I don't think they'll be able to put up 40 on Wink Martindale's defense. You have to look at a few key factors. I think a lot of this game is going to be on Daniel Jones to make some plays because they're obviously going to be able to key in on Saquon Barkley and game plan on him. But I think there's going to be some substantial moments where we're going to have to see Daniel Jones step up, and it's kind of tough because he lost one of his like favorite receivers in Wendell Robinson. We saw Wendell kind of like emerge as kind of the number one receiver. I mean, he still has Richie James and Kenny Galladay. Maybe this is
Slayton.
also, yeah, and Slayton, and maybe this is also a game that Kenny Galladay could kind of make his stamp and try to put himself in standing where it's like, okay, he's still a respectable receiver, but um, again, I think it just like you said with the whole offense of the Cowboys, are we going to get the offense that we got last week, or are we going to get the offense that we got in week one when they were versing the Bucks? It's really up in the air with the Cowboys. They're kind of inconsistent in a sense. So I think it'll all tie down to what Wink Martindale, I guess, really like draws up to kind of neutralize what Dak can do and what that offense can do in general. Um, Also, just their run offense. I mean, I don't know how well they'll be able to run the ball against this team. The Giants do have a good rush
I
defense, so
mean, I mean, they're gonna have to find a way to run the ball because if they can't run the ball, it's gonna
it
be over
shuts
for
down
the
a lot.
Giants
Yeah.
because we know they're gonna be able to get pressure on the quarterback. The Cowboys, one thing that they can do is they can get sacks and really disrupt the flow of the game. So they're gonna need Saquon to step up here. Even if he doesn't go for a crazy amount of yards to at least balance things out to make them have to worry about that run game for so that they could take advantage and probably get a few big plays in that game off some play action, which we know Daniel Jones could do. While also he'll probably have to make some plays with his legs and do that, which he's been proven he's capable of.
So the next game that we're gonna get into is the Bengals versus the Titans. This is a game, I believe. This is at Tennessee, correct?
Yes.
So
So
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, this is This is an interesting game because the Bengals, they're obviously, I mean, they have such firepower on offense, but the Titans, we've seen the Titans kind of get things together late in seasons, especially I mean, Derrick Henry is still healthy. They're able to just like, I mean, feed the rock to them and get that offense going, and then once that gets going, you open up a little bit more in the passing game. They are the underdogs at home. Don't really like that, especially being that the Bengals kind of had a closer game than usual against the Steelers last week. Um, so I don't know. I mean, this is a kind of a weird game, but I could see either team really winning this. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think the Titans are gonna be able to beat the Bengals and make a statement.
Yeah, so you know, it is a bit odd for the Titans to be the underdog at home. The Titans, look, they've been up and down this year, but record-wise, it shows they've been able to put together a lot of wins after not starting the season off on a great start. Derrick Henry's gonna, be a monster. We know that. For the Bengals, probably this would be the flip the other way, maybe 1.5 for the Titans, but the Bengals, it does seem like they're getting Jamar Chase back, so that might be why this line is,
Slightly in their favor.
favoring the Bengals this week. But yeah, look, 1.5 point spread. I mean, it's not a pick 'em, but it's pretty close, and you know, this will be a game that either team could win. No surprises here. They're both good teams. It'll just come down to how they show up on that Sunday and how they execute. But yeah, big game for both teams. I would say if you're the Bengals, you probably need this game a little bit more than the Titans need the game.
Yeah, for sure.
The Titans seem like they're in pretty good control of that division now. And they are a team that's been able to make the playoffs and be in that position in recent history. The Bengals, they go all the way to the Super Bowl last year, but in a division where you have the Ravens looming and the Browns are able to
Keep
lean on
afloat.
Chubb and kind of eat away at wins, and the Steelers, you can never count them out with Tomlin. There's a lot more landmines in that AFC North there. So yeah, it's something that obviously, if you're the Bengals, you kind of probably need this game a little bit more, but we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the outcome is. I think it'll be a great game nonetheless. And especially with Jamar coming back, it'll be nice to see another superstar back on the field. So with our next game, we're gonna get into the Packers versus the Eagles. The Packers are visiting the Eagles, and the Eagles are obviously the favorite. I believe they're favored by -7. Interesting game considering how the Packers have played their last game. They came off that huge win against the Cowboys, and then they ended up just not playing well against the Titans in the next week. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, the good thing, I guess the good thing about everything that's happened is he's been able to get on the same page with Christian Watson. And I think, I mean, this is a game where the Eagles, they almost lost to the Colts, and they weren't versing a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers, I think he just rises to the occasion, and I think the Packers get it done in this game.
Yeah, tough stretch of games for the Eagles. Like you said, they had that big win against the Cowboys. Then they go pick up the loss, and then a close game against the Colts. This is a similar game to last week to me. This is the game where you can see the things kind of turning a little bit for the Packers, somewhat how they turns for the Colts. And look, when you're going against Aaron Rodgers, this team could be bad, but you can never count that guy out. The Eagles, they're at home. They certainly shown the ability to put up points in a hurry and clamp down defensively. If they could do that to start out and get off to a big lead, they're probably going to be fine.
Right.
But they do not want to keep this game close against the Packers. If you keep this game close against Aaron Rodgers, good luck. They very well might be able to pull this off. The game will be in Philly, but cold weather won't be a factor for a team like Green Bay and a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Packers have a decent run game. They'll be able to lean on that. Defensively, great secondary. They're
Yeah,
able to lock people down and clamp down. Might be a hard night for AJ Brown and
Devontae
Devontae Smith
Smith.
and all those guys. So yeah, this is probably one of the more interesting games. Look, I don't feel like you probably have to give the Eagles -7 favorite here. That seems about right. But it's just one of those things where the feeling is the game itself is probably going to be closer to
Closer than
than yeah.
what it's like really anticipated for. And I think what I think another thing is like which team does something better, because it's like the Eagles and the Packers, they have a similar offense, whereas they don't lean so much more. They can pass. I mean, I don't know about the Packers, but the Packers and the Eagles tend to lean more towards the run. So I think it's going to be more of like who is going to be the better passing team. And I mean, you could say who's going to be the better quarterback, and I think 9 times out of 10, anybody's going to take Aaron Rodgers over Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts' weapons are obviously a lot better, and
And this year Jalen Hurts has been playing great. I mean,
right,
look, it probably it doesn't even. I don't know if it'll come down to the passing game, right? But it'll be who can make more plays, right?
right,
When the plays matter, those huge third down type of plays, those plays once you get a little closer to the end zone, can you throw the guy that's thread the needle and get that touchdown pass that maybe you might miss, or if you don't throw it perfectly, it's not going to happen. So who could capitalize and execute some of these things and make more plays down the stretch? It's probably the type of game you're looking at. It's probably going to be one of those hard fought defensive battles, and those games come down to who can make more plays when it comes down to everything.
yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I think that's probably out of this whole slate. I think that's probably my favorite game to kind of see, because I mean, again, the Packers, they don't have the greatest record, but you can never count them out regardless of their record. So.